So I'm like a decade late to the party, but recently I finally got around to watching Local 58, a pretty popular analog horror series on YouTube. I've been wanting to check it out for like a while now, but I am, to put it gently, a scared widow baby, so I kept putting it off and putting it off and putting it off, but now we're here. An important note is that I have a very like complicated relationship with analog horror, i.e. I hate most of it. I know, despite being a commentary YouTuber, I am still a real person with real opinions, at least until someone starts paying me to be the contrary. But a lot of analog horror is very, like, formulaic to me, in a way, if that makes any sense. I hate a lot of the tropes and, like, the crutches that it uses as a medium, like, particularly, like, the Uncanny Valley face slop, as I'll call it. Stuff like that, and, like, the unnecessary gore and like gross out elements just for kind of like shock value. I know that's more of a symptom of like modern analog horror stuff, or like more modern than Local 58, because this started like 2018, I think, 2017, whatever. Um, that being said, as far as I am aware, Local 58 is basically like the patient zero of the analog horror genre, and the first major series to call itself analog horror, so I guess I'm not going to judge it for its successor's failings. To preface, this isn't going to be like a beat-by-beat retelling of the story or the videos or anything. If you're looking for a synopsis, I imagine there's probably a lot more videos out there like that. So I'm more so looking at this as like a pure like review. Like the script for this video, or like the bullet points for the script for this video, were written as I was watching this, so it's like pretty much a more filtered version of my live reaction to watching this episode by episode and how I perceived most of them. So I'm gonna do that, just kind of give some thoughts and opinions about the individual episodes before I wrap it up and talk about like the series in general and how I felt about it, all that good stuff. The first video on the Local 58 channel is You're on the Fastest Available Route, which, I'm gonna be honest, it started a little slow for me. For the first, like, minute and a half, I was kind of like, this is alright, but, like, I hope it picks up. You know, I was expecting a lot more from such a, like, revered series. By the second half of the video, I'd, like, completely changed my tone about that. The rerouting sequence, like whenever that started, was really tense in a way that had me like kind of uncomfortable, like gripping the edge of my seat and all that, kind of in the best way possible. If I had to use a word to describe it, I'd say it was like suffocating, in a way, if that makes any sense. But overall, I did really like the first video. Which actually, on a side note, is not like on the Wikipedia page for Local 58 and like the episode list. It's not listed as the first episode. I don't know if that matters or if that's just like completely useless thing, but it's listed as like the third episode. I think Weather Service is the first one on Wikipedia. I don't know if that means anything. Next up is Contingency, which this is the one. This is easily my favorite video in the entire series up to this point. The government issued message, effectively amounting to kill yourself now and we will make sure you do. Like, that is incredible. Like, my skin was crawling watching that, and I knew that was gonna, like, I had seen some of that episode on TikTok, but like, god damn, man, it was fantastic. I'll talk a lot about how I love some of the verbiage and the lines in this series a little later when I do my like big review, but the line, this message will repeat until there are none to read it, absolutely just mwah, mwah, no notes at all. Especially paired with the pretty heavy implication that this was an accidental airing that like wasn't supposed to happen, or something that's like lying in wait, I guess a contingency plan, if you will. It's just so good. It is like definitely my favorite video in the entire series. Weather Service, the third or first, depending on where you get your info from. I'm doing this in the order of the YouTube videos on the Local 58 channel, not the Wikipedia article. So this is the third episode that we're doing it third. I don't care, but it really got to me. Mostly this is a personal one because I'm terrified of like extreme weather and sirens and weather warnings, and it makes me feel like a really bad like dread. Like, it gives me dread. So I hated it a lot, and that is a very big compliment. I absolutely hated watching this, and that's how I feel like I should feel. Remember this for a few minutes from now, an episode we'll talk about in a minute, but this one established a couple ground rules, such as don't go outside, and don't look at the moon. Just keep that one in mind. Keep that in your back pocket. Show for Children was next up, and good luck, man. Just play the clip. Just play the clip of me watching that. Oh, what the fuck? Oh my fucking god, dude. What the fuck? As you can tell, that scared the ever-loving fuck out of me. Like, I recoiled in my seat when I was watching that. This one was the first to make me feel like an actual, like, sense of dread about the series. Like, I know I said I used the word dread in Weather Service, but that's mostly just because, you know, I'm scared of weather stuff. Like, that was a personal thing for me. But, like, as a viewer of this series, Show for Children was the first to make me, like, really scared. The anticipation between each reveal of what was going to be in the hole, the cadaver, the cute little skeleton guy. I love that guy. That guy's so cute. I need a shirt of him, I think. I definitely need to pick up some merch. This series is fucking awesome. But the hole that he looks down, like, it had me on edge. It really did. And I can't remember the last time I felt that to that extent. Like, I really, off the top of my head, I don't know. Maybe when I was playing, like, Kinetopet back in the day, back in the, ancient year of, like, 2024. But that's the last time, like, I felt, like, genuine dread for something in a horror medium, game, show, whatever, you know. Real Sleep is one I've got mixed feelings on. I like the deeper lore aspect of it. I think that it's the first that, like, really fleshes out a concrete story in a way that I'm, like, really, I guess not the first, but it does it in a big way. This, like, an anti-dreaming propaganda I think is really cool and a really fun concept. I do enjoy the direction it takes, but it kind of pissed me off. I'm gonna be honest, because I got scared of the one thing that I was bitching about earlier and have, like, incessantly bitched about when it comes to analog horror as a concept. The Uncanny Valley scary face shit, which kind of occupied most of this video, at least, like, the second half. That being said, I think I'll let it slide. Because at least in the context of the video and the story I was trying to tell, it felt like it made sense instead of just being there for, like, shock value, like, this, like, picture of a person turned into a picture of a scary person. His eyes are a little too far apart. I don't know. Like, I'm not gonna say it doesn't scare me, but it makes me mad more than it scares me. But that also me saying that, like, I'll let it slide could just be cope for, me getting scared. It could be, it probably is, it possibly is, it is. By the time I hit skywatching, the dread was, like, ingrained in me. Like, I felt tense watching through the entire video. Every single cut of the camera in this video had me tense, and I love the, like, direction that took. Where there were so many camera cuts. I like this one from a story perspective. It ties into the previously established lore and ground rule of don't look into the moon, which the asshole behind the camera did not catch on to. Thanks for that, Dick. He got, like, raptured or something. I don't really know what happened there. I'm not sure, but he's gone now. I'm quickly realizing that this video is going to be way longer than I expected it to be. I thought this was going to be like a 10-minute thing, but digital transition was a little bit of a deviation. It kind of signified the change from, like, the classic analog horror, or not analog horror, the analog, like, visual style, like watching an 80s TV set to a more modernized one, which I'll touch on a little later. It's a little funny for a reason I thought of, but side note, why does the news station have, like, personalized messages for people whose TV sets can't, like, be converted to digital? It feels like a bit of an overreach, doesn't it? You shouldn't have that much power. Close, I think it's Close, honestly, is half an hour long, and probably my least favorite of the series so far. It dragged a lot for me. Basically, the entire video is like a countdown of a landing of sorts, with a distorted voice talking in the background, just absolutely yammering. I could not understand a word it was saying. I don't know if that was by design or if I just am bad at hearing and have processing issues, or both. Either way, some of the imagery was, like, it was cool and stuff, but it startled me. But this doesn't really move me. It wasn't my style. I do understand what they were going for, but it was, like, a little drawn out, and, like, nothing happened for way too it didn't keep my, like, 5-second attention span, my brain rotified attention span, so fuck this video. Next up is Nightwalk, which fucks, and I love the world building. I know I said I wasn't gonna do like synopsis of any episodes because like there's plenty of videos out there like that, I'm sure, and the series is like an hour and a half long if you want to just go watch it. But I think this one kind of describes it because there's really the best way to describe how cool this was is just giving like the TLDR. Basically starts with this like urban legend about some like shadowy figure that resembles like a woman's side profile, like looking upwards. And then it cuts to an actual recording of someone catching the thing on film with like the actual camera, and it's just like this fucking thing. Like that's just so cool and inventive, and it adds a lot to the mystique of the world. Like it's a lot of world building that I really appreciate because I'm a sucker for really good world building, and this is probably my favorite one from that perspective. Maybe what is it called? Skywatching? Skywatching is also probably up there, but this one's really good. The latest release in the series, which actually came out like under a month before I sat down to watch all of these. It was under 2 weeks when I before this recording, like when I actually sat down and watched the series, is AdSpot, which is actually also the first upload in over a year after what was it called? It was Nightwalk. I literally just talked about it 20 seconds ago. My god, my brain is flayed. It felt like dystopian in a way, and kind of like unlike the rest of the series, which I really like. It was in a way that I really like. It felt like a deviation. I'm a total sucker, admittedly, for like over-the-top, blatantly evil, like this is a bad company, bad whatever, verbiage, and like choice of words when it comes to like, especially when it comes to like AI-centric stuff, where it's like, this is clearly some overlord bullshit, and it's like, it's sadder now that it's like barely an exaggeration, but it's still super cool. I loved the entire vibe. I'm gonna be a total scary face slop hypocrite again, but the code outline that looked like just vaguely enough like a face to be unsettling, absolutely awesome. I loved that. This one is probably my second favorite, behind Contingency, of the whole series. So great work, Local 58. I can't wait for your next upload in like 2029, if we're lucky, if we've been good. All in all, yeah, this series is genuinely great. Like, I found myself bummed when it came to a close, when AdSpot ended. I could probably go into more depth about, like, my feelings about certain analog horror tropes. Again, scary face slop. It's scary, but yeah, it's like, you've done enough. It's like how certain people feel, when it comes to jump scares in, like, horror games and, like, mascot horror games especially. But that's just me. Again, like, no judgment if you enjoy that stuff. I wish I could, but it's just not my, like, it's not up my alley, and I think that Local 58 really isn't, it doesn't do that in too many spades. I think that's more of a modern thing for, like, shock value horror, which is its own thing that probably deserves its own video if I cared enough, but I don't. But yeah, having watched this in its entirety, I can understand the craze a little more, and why this genre was all the rage a while back. Like, it's been like a couple years, I guess, since it's been like every single horror series is, someone said mascot horror again, analog horror, but I understand it to an extent now. For more specific praises than just like, yeah, I liked this, I will say I love the prose in this series. It leaves me on edge a lot, and a lot of the lines that I just love from the series. I'm such a sucker for like overly complex and like quote writing, you know. I love that shit. Like, join your neighbors, your family, your god from Contingency is so powerful. Really, all of that video is, to me, again, easily my favorite, but like there's just such incredible lines sprinkled in throughout this entire series, and I love them. They're so powerful and make me feel, and I love that shit. Every video kind of felt like its own thing in a way. Like, there's obviously an underlying connection and an overarching story with it that I appreciate. I mean, I don't know the deep lore of Local 58. I know there's like a website or something, I was not gonna do all that, respectfully. I'm here for the YouTube series. That's all you're getting out of me. Maybe I'll make a part 2 where I look at the website, but we'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. So I don't know if the story is like really concrete and there, or if it's just kind of an up to interpretation thing, like how you want to perceive like the AI thing, like the contingency plan, like how you want to kind of take that in. But I like it regardless. If there is a story, like a really concrete, in your face story that I'm missing, that's on me. Aesthetically, it's beautiful. I mean, I love the visuals and the imagery and all that. It's like, it doesn't feel like blockbuster movie quality, but you can tell there's like a budget there and a lot of passion put into pretty much everything. But I will say, I think it is a little funny that this series basically pioneered the term and genre of analog horror, like calls itself analog horror, and then switches to a more modernized HD presentation halfway through. It's a little funny to me. It really is. For criticisms, like I talked about, I wasn't a big fan of Close. And I think it dragged a lot. I really do. But if that's my primary criticism, again, very subjective, like I don't have anything like objectively to tear apart about the series, I'd say that makes a pretty damn good series. But I gotta know, after like all of this being said, should I put aside my previous notions of other analog horror series and give them a shot as well? If so, which ones? I know like Vita Carnis is one, I think that's what it's called. That's one that I've been interested in and I do really want to check out. I need to probably do it at like 2:30 because that shit is scary. I will be. That shit looks like something I'm not equipped for. But yeah, I really am curious. I don't know if I've been giving this genre a whole lot of shit for no reason, really. Obviously, like, now having watched this, I'm like, okay, maybe this can be good. Maybe this can be, like, really, really great. And obviously, I know this is, like, the predecessor, but it's genuinely so good. It is such a fantastic series, pretty much top to bottom, and I highly recommend it if you somehow are on this video and don't really know about it. If this is like your first foray into Local 58 and analog horror in general, then I guess I'm flattered. Anyways, thanks for 200 subscribers on this channel. That's awesome. To commemorate, I will be quitting my job, dedicating all of my time to continue making very alright commentary videos on YouTube, or something like that. But seriously, though, thanks a lot. I mean, I keep finding myself being surprised when some of these videos do well, because, I know I'm sitting in my chair talking about random bullshit for 20 minutes at a time. It's like the lowest effort content that I do across my, like, however many channels, and it's like, okay, cool. You want to hear me talk? That's a first. But that's gonna be all from me for now. If you liked the video, leave a like. If you subscribed the video, leave subscribe. Let me know if you like this style video, where I just kind of take a thing or a topic or whatever, and either review it or just, you know, talk about it. I like to talk about it. I want to talk about it for a few minutes. Just let me know. But until next time, I'm out of here.